One game of playoff hoops on a Wednesday night. The Cavs win in overtime. We'll get into it all. My name is Shlomo Stark,
My name is Levi Jacob.
and this is the daily basketball recap in 15 minutes or less. Levi, huge win from the Cavs here. First away team to win a game this series. They were down a lot at the end. I think it was like 106 to 93 or 103 to 92, something like that. I forgot the exact
I think
score.
91. Yeah.
It
I
was
think
like
you're right.
it was like 2 minutes left. It was like crazy. It's like Tobias Harris at a three, and it's like, oh, game over. And then they went on a 9-0 run, outscored them 14-10 in the playoffs. In the overtime, ended up being like a 21-10 run. Masterful at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. To be honest with you, I was like watching it. I was like, okay, how did the Pistons give this away? They didn't. The Cavs took it. Evan Mobley locked up in crunch time. Max Strus, unsung hero of this series. James Harden also was some really clutch buckets down the stretch. There was a crazy play at the end of regulation where Donovan Mitchell he does his like sweep through move that
Yeah,
Asar
but they got
Thompson like
blocked.
stole.
Yeah.
Right. He stole it from him, but he still held onto the ball and managed to pass it out. Like it was crazy. The Pistons had a good couple looks at a 3-pointer. Didn't go in at the end in overtime there. Do you know? Are you ready for this? You ready for this?
I don't know if you're gonna be ready for my thing, but I'll hear yours first.
Okay. Give Cade Cunningham
Oh,
another player
mine
that
thinks
can
about
score by
Cade also.
themselves.
Mine thinks about Cade also. Let's see yours.
Do you want to know? Do you want to know? He is shooting. He's attempting 2 3-pointers more per game in the playoffs. His field goal percentage is actually around the same as it is during the regular season. Do you want to know his 3-point percentage compared to the like now in this postseason performance compared to what he did in the regular season? He's shooting 10% higher, 42% in the postseason, 32% in the regular season.
32%
He's
of the regular season is terrible.
very bad.
I
But
didn't
I mean,
realize
like
that.
it's like a known thing that Cade is not like the best 3-point shooter,
I didn't
except for the
realize
fact
that.
that like now it's
Now he
crazy. His
is.
turnovers obviously are much higher, but he's the reason why this Pistons team is still here, and the reason why they're in this round at all, and the reason why they're going this far with the Cavs. He's awesome. You're gonna have to have a completely opposite take, I'm sure, but
Going the other way, which I love.
okay.
Listen, he's not good. That's not what I'm saying. Like, he's excellent. You can't just look at his stats and be like, he's not good. He's just not that guy.
That's
What
so
do I
bizarre that you
mean?
say that.
Let me finish my take. I let you do
Okay,
your thing
yeah.
with the 10%. Let me
Yeah,
finish
that's
my
fine.
take.
That's fine.
Cade is supposed to be, by if you don't call Luka a guard, the second best guard in the league right now, behind SGA. Like first team
Okay.
All NBA. That meaning no, was he not first team? Was he have a voting thing?
He, I think, qualified
He
for the
did.
teams.
You would have made him first team All NBA, right?
I would have, yeah.
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 Meaning, and would you say he was this season the second best guard in the league behind Shea? Assuming Luka's not a guard. I don't think it's
That's
debatable.
I don't know. I don't know if it's not
He's better
debatable.
than
I have to
Mitchell, better
think.
than Brunson, better than Edwards. Meaning that's the consensus
Yeah. Over the course of the whole season, okay. Let's say
this
for the
season. I'm talking about
I
this
could it
season.
could be
I'm talking about this season.
arguably, but I'm willing to I'm willing
This is
to
what
be there
people are
for the
saying
argument.
about him. This is
Sure.
like that. He's at if he's not that, he's a right below that. Meaning that's the
Okay.
way people are talking about him, right?
Yeah.
Pistons won. What was it? 60 games. 60 games. The Pistons were not so much worse without him. They were winning
At
games.
the end of the season,
Yeah, at the
I'm
end of the
not.
season.
I can't
Listen,
put the end of
let
the
me
season
finish.
stats
Let
in
me
there.
finish.
Okay.
They were not so much worse without him. Meaning they were able to get. People were saying they might not get to 60 games. They were winning games without him. I'm talking just win-loss record. They had to take a Magic team that looked like they were ready to go to Cancun in the playing game against the 76ers. They had to take them to 7 games and are now down 3-2 to the Cavs to these Cavaliers who have no place in the Eastern Conference Finals. This Cavs team does not belong there. They should, in theory, have had the easiest road until they get to the Knicks, but they should, in theory, have had the easiest road, and they have made it difficult. And that is because Cade is just not that guy. He's not good enough to be on the level of the Donovan Mitchell, of Jalen Brunson, of SGA, of Anthony Edwards. He is a tier below. And I put Tyrese Halliburton on there. He's just hurt. Um, but Tyrese Halliburton is in the first tier. And I think he is one tier below that. Is he exceptional? Yes. Is he fantastic? Yes. But there's another level of my team is now so much better because of me, and my team can win hard playoff games because of me. And I think the guys I listed are there. I think if you swap Brunson, Mitchell, Edwards, or SGA with Cade and put them on this team, they beat the Magic not in less than 7, and they beat the Cavs in less than well, let's see, they still might beat the Cavs, but they wouldn't be down 3-2 to the Cavs. That is my Stephen A. Smith hottest take.
Okay. Okay. Um,
He's a tier 2 guard, and it's really not a knock on him.
so a tier 2 guard leads the playoffs in scoring is what we're doing here.
Correct. It's about winning. He might
Okay,
be the best scorer. He might be
who's
the
the
best
second best
scorer of
player
all
on
the
his team?
guards. Who's the best second best player on his
Second
team?
best player
Who's it? Jalen Duren?
in the playoffs? Do you want to go over his stats?
I'm saying statistic. It's got to be Jalen Duren, right? Maybe Tobias Harris. You can make excuses for all these guys. Who's Anthony Edwards' second best teammate?
Between Rudy Gobert, who is in contention for Defensive Player of the Year, or Julius Randle, who's a 20-point per game scorer, or now I would assume who's playing ungodly. Like,
So
all I'm
you're
saying is,
listen.
yeah,
All you're saying is, but 2 weeks ago the Pistons were not 2 weeks ago, but at this point it's like 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks ago the Pistons were heavily favored against the Magic. Would have been heavily favored against the Cavs. Now you're saying, oh, but look at Cade's teammate. That's not what we were saying during the season. During the season we were saying the
okay,
Pistons team is great.
okay. So let me
I
rebuttal a
that,
little bit.
but other people were saying.
I get it. No, but let me rebuttal a little bit. I'm still trying to find Duran's
I'm
playoff
sure you
performances.
don't need to show it, but Duran's not playing well in the playoffs. I know. You don't need to find anything.
Um, um, well, he's playing terribly. Okay. Um, we are a month removed from Cade coming back from a collapsed lung.
Okay, so you want to say he's hurt? Fine, I'll accept that.
I'm saying even him hurt, he's still averaging the most
I don't
points in
think
the
he's hurt. He's
playoffs.
having 39 points a game. I don't know if he has another level to go.
30,
Meaning,
31. That's
no, he had
but
39
this
points this
level.
game. I'm saying he had
No,
39
this game.
points tonight. So I'm saying I don't know if like you want to say he's hurt. Okay, I think this is as good as he is. Meaning, and it's amazing.
But I don't think that's a
like,
fair evaluation. I just don't think it's a fair evaluation because last season was his first season in the postseason, right? He made it to the playoffs. He shrunk a little bit. Everyone knows that he kind of didn't show up against in the Knicks series.
this is on Cade. I'm just comparing him to Brunson, Mitchell, Edwards, and SGA. And I think all
I
four of
think
those
he's
are.
outplaying Mitchell. I think he's outplaying Mitchell for sure. He's
I'm
literally
a
the whole
win-loss
team's
guy.
offense.
I'm a
He's the
win-loss
whole
guy.
team's. He's the whole. But Donovan Mitchell is not the reason that they won the last 3 games.
He is the
Like the
reason he won one of them.
points
One
was
of the
43
three.
points was very good. 43 points was very good, but James Harden also had 24 and 10 in that game.
Happens to be, I agree with you. That's a separate take. I think Mitchell is the worst of the people I mentioned. I do. I think you're right. I'm fine with a Cade Mitchell debate. Sure.
Okay, fine, but I'm saying give Cade Cat how he's performing in this playoffs and OG how he's performing in this playoffs. I think that this is significantly different. He doesn't have anybody else who's able to create offense. Dennis Jenkins started this game, who's supposed to be coming off the bench for them. Dennis Jenkins has done well in some games, horribly in others. Jalen Duren has literally disappeared entirely, and Tobias Harris has been great, but he's 37. How old is he now? I just feel like
This was not the story people were saying 8 weeks ago when the Pistons ended the season. People were saying Pistons are the scariest team, and Cade is the scariest guard.
because of the lack of play of the other players. I don't think it's a Cade thing. I think that
It's not
Cade
a Cade.
has
He's
honestly.
amazing. He has 39 points. 7 rebounds, 9 assists. I can't ask him. I'm not asking more of Cade. I'm not saying Cade needs to do more. I'm saying
I think if you put, I understand, but I'm saying I think that if you put any of those other people, mostly any other players in the league on this team instead of Cade, I think they'd be in the exact same position. It's like not he's not it's not that he's a floor. It's not just that he's a floor raiser.
I've watched enough
He
Brunson to know that he would not take the Magic to 7, and he would not. I don't think he'd be down 3-2 to this Cavs team.
you're saying that ever since
Of course,
Brunson
it's
has been
made
on
up.
the
You can all say whatever I want.
no, I'm saying ever since Brunson has been on the Knicks, at least with some people contributing here and there, this Pistons team, aside from Cade, I guess Tobias with 19 points per game, none of them have been consistent. Like a Sark Thompson cannot play long stretches because he can't operate offensively. Like Isaiah Stewart was hitting threes for them. It looked really good. They've been doing this, by the way, a couple times over. Is that in the first half they're up, second half is where they fall apart. There's literally like I don't know. I just feel like I'm watching him. I'm like, how much more can you ask him to do? He's
I'm
literally all
not
over the
asking.
place.
That's the thing. I'm not asking him to do more. I think he's
Yeah,
playing as well as he could play. This is not a Cade needs to step up. That's not what I'm saying. I think he could not be stepping up more. Like he's again, literally 39.7 rebounds, 9 assists. Like what more do you want him to do? It's one of the best stat lines ever. Like, but but I'm a win-loss guy. The fact that they
but
take
I'm
the
saying,
Magic to 7, and the fact that they're down 3-2 to this Cavs team that has no business being in the Eastern Conference Finals is not a great look.
but we went. It's not a great look, but we went over the advanced stats as far as Cat and OG. They are literally playing like two of the best players in the NBA throughout this postseason. He does not have one of those kinds of players next to him. That's not Cade's fault. That's not, like I mean like how much more? Okay, fault not fault. But I'm saying win loss. You can't force a win or a loss. What you want him to score 106 points a game? What is he supposed to do?
Figure it
What
out.
is he supposed to do?
Nothing. I don't think he can do anything.
He makes his teammates better. That's without a doubt.
Well,
He's one
not
of the
this
best passers
playoffs
in the league. It's not about, but he's getting them open shots. They're just missing. If you look at percentages, it's atrocious. It doesn't have to do with Cade. You're saying to me that Brunson is a better passer than Cade, he's a better playmaker than Cade.
I'm saying he's better. You want to go through different
I
attributes? He's more of a winner
because he won more games. That's really what we're gonna go with. Actually, by the way, he didn't
because the regular
during
season
the regular.
matters doesn't matter.
Get out of here! This
It
is the
doesn't.
most ridiculous argument ever. Because his
It's not.
teammates
The
average
entire
more
season,
points.
I was watching both teams, and I watched all the Knicks losses, and watching all the Pistons, and I never once thought the Pistons were better than the Knicks. Never once.
Listen,
People were saying,
listen. That's
Shlomo, what are
that's
you talking
fine.
about? You on this podcast were hyping up the Pistons. I think you may have had them go to the finals. You
No,
were
that was my dark
so,
horse pick.
yeah, you were so into them, and I read right through it.
You're saying that you're reading right through it. What are you reading right through? You're reading right through the fact that Cade Cunningham is playing like one of the best players
That
in the
they
league right
would
now.
not that they would not play well in the playoffs.
It's also their second year in the playoffs. Like you're talking
Yeah,
about,
that's what I'm saying.
like
Yeah, give it time. Maybe in a year or two they will be there. I'm saying right now. I'm not talking about the future. That
I
was
don't
part
know.
of it.
I don't
That
know if I
was
can get.
part of it. People last year were like, "Oh, last year they were really competitive with the Knicks. This year they're going to be better." And they were better in the regular season when no one cares. Sure.
Listen, I don't know. I don't know if I can get behind this point.
I know you wouldn't. That's why I was excited to say it.
It's a good bit. Um, my question for you is James Harden, is he back?
No, because it wasn't an elimination game.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
If the Pistons win Game 6 and he had the same game he had tonight in Game 7, I would say he's back. Because I really think I've said this already 3 times in the pod. The fact that this Cavs team is a win away from the Eastern Conference Finals, I just keep looking at that. I'm like, well, why? How?
Yeah, yeah. No, they
We were
shouldn't be.
talking a week ago about when they were losing to RJ Barrett that they're gonna blow the whole team up and everyone's on the table and Mitchell and Mobley and Atkinson and now they're a win away from the Eastern Conference Finals by the mighty Cade
Yeah.
Cunningham. That's crazy.
Yeah. I again, I think it's round by round. I think you're getting better contributions from Evan Mobley, but still, like they don't belong
They're
in the
not an
Eastern
Eastern
Conference
Conference Finals
Finals.
team. They're just not,
No, really
and
not.
they're a win away because they got to play Cade Cunningham. If they were playing the Knicks in the second round, they would not be an Eastern Conference Finals team. But they got
Okay,
to
but the
play the
same thing,
mighty
like,
Pistons and Cade Cunningham, so they're now up 3-2.
is there
The
what
60
other
win team
team?
Pistons, the scary one seed that everyone was so scared of.
Listen, all I'm saying is be careful. Just be careful. That's all.
Your dream
Just be careful.
is the Pistons win in 7 and then destroy the Knicks. Now then I'm just like eating my words like
No, no.
because if that
Listen. It's
happens,
fine.
by the way,
Meaning,
I would probably have to admit that Cade is a better guard than Brunson. If that
yeah,
does
but
happen.
even then, I don't need that to happen. I'm saying like there's also the calamity of like if they do make the finals, the Knicks, which they probably will, right? If they play either the Thunder or the Spurs and get absolutely whooped, it's not going to
So
feel good.
so I think the Knicks. I won't care. I don't think if they. I'll care about the Spurs if they get whooped by the Spurs. My if I this team has always been finals or bust, not championship or bust. The Knicks team I'm talking about. If we
Yeah.
make the finals and lose to OKC in 4 and 5, I'll be fine. Like that's what I expected. If we lose to the Spurs, I'll be upset because I think we could beat the Spurs and I think we can hang with them. Like I think right now I've decided that we are the second best team in the NBA.
What if it happens that the Pistons do get to Game 7 here and they take the Knicks to 6? How would you feel
That's
about
probably
that?
what I would even expect if they win. I'm
I
saying
don't. The
if the
Pistons,
Pistons win, I would expect. I don't know.
they look really
He,
tired. That's where I'm at. Like they look like by the end of the playoffs last year when the Thunder got to the finals, like each year I forget about in the playoffs, it's so physical. There's so much physicality that by the end of it, like the players just look like he's
yeah.
Cade
Producer
is what, like
Max.
24. Yeah.
Producer Max told me I should be rooting for the Pistons.
Why? Play the Cavs.
That's what
Are
I
you
said.
joking?
I'm
The
talking about
Knicks would
producer Max.
dish. That's so bizarre. I wouldn't say
He's
that at
saying
all. I
that
think that's a bad
Mitchell.
call.
He's saying Mitchell, Mobley, and Harden could all get hot, and the Pistons only Cade could get hot.
Yeah, and then the Knicks defense kicks in and absolutely whoops the Cavs who are undersized. Whatever. I think that's a
I
bad
I
take.
I am rooting for the Cavs. I'm very very happy that the
I
Cavs
would
are up three
and I
two.
think that everybody should be rooting for the Cavs. I think everybody like
Except
meaning if
Pistons
you
fans.
yeah, meaning I'm rooting for the Pistons just because I like the Pistons, but the
You do
Cavs
like the Pistons. It's weird. You have this weird thing for the Pistons. You're gonna
I think that
defend them
I
to the
think that
death.
I like underdogs. I like people that like really grind it
They're
out,
not
and I think that's
underdogs. They
exactly
won
what the
60
Pistons are.
games.
Yeah, but again, it's the same thing
They
like
were the
it
one
isn't the same thing with
seed.
the Spurs. I get it. I understand that, but at the same time, like you wanna like with the Pacers
And they're
last
also
year
favored against the Cavs and Magic. They're the opposite of underdogs.
because they were the 1 seed. I hear what you're saying, but at the same time,
No, they
like
were
I
not
just
because
feel
of the
like,
one seed. Even if they were the 60, they would have been favored against the Magic.
but exactly what you're saying right now is what I was like, what I was playing against last year when I was like, I think that the Pistons have a really good chance at being the 1 seed, and everyone was like, the Pistons? No, they're not going to even be the top 4 teams in the East. I like that kind of thing where like you see the progression of young stars getting better, showing you that they actually are made of what they have showed that they're made of. That's all. I understand like the pushback, you know. Um, I have a question for you about speaking of producer Max, just because of the Nets. I have a question for you. Philadelphia just lost, and
Daryl Morey?
they
Oh, I thought you mean.
Daryl Morey, by the way. Yeah. Also, by the way, Daryl Morey. We
I
didn't
thought
mention that
that's what you're
yesterday that he
referencing.
got
Like,
fired.
just lost Daryl Morey. Okay.
No. The Nets did not get a top pick in this draft, which is what they were tanking for. Do you think that there's a world in which the Nets just take on the salary of Joel Embiid, get some trades, get some picks or whatever from the Sixers? Like, what's the harm right now?
I think the Sixers are running it back
I also think so, but I don't know what the purpose of that is either. Like, meaning you can't. I don't think that you can win
because
having
I think they
PG.
have something with Edgecombe. So Edgecombe's going to get better, and they overachieved. Meaning they were supposed to lose in the first round, and they only had their guys actually play together for like a week and a half.
Well, also they have such high usage on those guys, and they're like absolutely exhausted by the time they got
Right. Like
to
I
the
think they were going
Knicks.
to try to get deeper and just like ride with Edgecombe and Maxi.
But how do you get deeper when you have crazy contracts like Embiid and PG. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like that's the piece that maybe they
There's
trade
always
PG.
ways
Then I
to
don't
get
know.
like vet minimums.
I wonder. It'll be interesting because also still have
Yeah,
to
but I
pay
don't
Quentin
think they're
Grimes.
trading anybody. I think they're happy with how to, even though they got embarrassed by the Knicks and both by the Knicks fans and Knicks players. Like I think
Yeah,
it was just they
I think
overachieved. They should have lost to the Celtics and
I
they
think in a
won.
weird way the season was very similar to the Celtics season, but the outcome is different because everyone's like Jaylen Brown's going to get traded. You know, like one of those things.
Jaylen Brown's
But
getting
I
traded
just
because he basically said he wants his own team. That's why. I think if
no. But
Embiid
I'm
said
saying
that, if Embiid went on Twitch or whatever thing it is
twinge.
and said like, listen, I need my own team to be happy, then I think then the Nets thing would make a little more sense. But I think they're gonna run it back.
Okay, fair enough.
That was the daily basketball recap in 15 minutes. I want to thank you, Levy, for coasting, for producing, for being a defender of Cade Cunningham. I want to thank you, Max, for nothing. Actually, I'll thank you, Max, for adding to the podcast with saying that I should be rooting for the Cavs. That was very interesting content. Levy actually got really animated when I said that. And I want to thank you for listening.